Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm wondering why you need to eat.
To get energy.
But you barely move all day, so how come you need that much energy?
Good question. This is because you need energy for more than just moving. You also need it to make larger molecules, such as DNA and proteins, and for active transport, which is when you pump molecules across a membrane from an area of low concentration to high concentration. All of this energy comes from ATP.
What's ATP?
ATP is the energy currency of cells. It temporarily stores and transfers energy from one place to another. It consists of adenine, ribose, and 3 phosphate groups. This is why it is called adenosine triphosphate. The 3rd phosphate group can detach from the rest of the molecule, which is called ADP.
So that would be adenosine diphosphate?
Yeah. When ATP splits apart, it releases energy.
Oh, I see.
But wasn't glucose the one that gives energy? I'm so confused.
Glucose also stores chemical energy like ATP, but the chemical energy is transferred to ATP through a process called respiration.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Respiration joins ADP and phosphate back together. In this reaction, glucose plus oxygen goes to carbon dioxide plus water. Oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water are exchanged when you breathe in and out.
Where is the ATP?
The ATP is synthesized using the energy released during the reaction.
Why do you need to transfer the energy to ATP though? Can't we just use glucose to power everything?
Insightful question. This is because a molecule of glucose stores way more energy than a molecule of ATP. Therefore, if we used glucose to power everything, we would release more energy than required, which can damage the cells.
Cool. And another question, what if I hold my breath? Does that mean respiration stops?
Oh, thanks for pointing that out. What I just described was aerobic respiration specifically. In this type of reaction, oxygen is required. But there's another type of respiration called anaerobic respiration.
What's the equation for that?
It depends. If you're an animal or certain types of bacteria, anaerobic respiration looks like this. Glucose goes to lactate.
Am I considered an animal?
That's irrelevant right now.
Why is it that we still have to breathe then? Can't we just do anaerobic respiration the whole time?
Great question. There are several reasons. First, anaerobic respiration produces lactate, which can be harmful if you have too much of it. In fact, the lactate produced is later broken down using oxygen.
Oh, what are other reasons?
Anaerobic respiration doesn't produce as much ATP as aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration can produce more than 30 molecules of ATP per molecule of glucose, whereas for anaerobic respiration, this number goes down to 2.
Oh.
Also, with anaerobic respiration, you can only use glucose or rather carbohydrates to obtain energy. Whereas with aerobic respiration, you can get energy from breaking down fats and amino acids, not just carbohydrates.
Why is that useful?
This gives the body more options to store and retrieve energy, which becomes important when there is a shortage of food. For humans, anaerobic respiration is primarily used for muscles when they undergo quick contractions because in this scenario, they need quick supplies of energy. If you are fungi, Your anaerobic respiration looks like this. Glucose goes to ethanol and carbon dioxide. Oh, by the way, you can measure the rate of anaerobic respiration using this apparatus. The flask contains yeast and their nutrients. This airlock prevents oxygen from coming in, but allows carbon dioxide to bubble out.
Bubble out.
That's smart though.
And the balance measures the mass of the entire thing.
What does that have to do with respiration?
During anaerobic respiration in yeast, glucose is converted to ethanol and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide flows out of the system, so the mass should decrease as the reaction proceeds.
Oh.
There are other ways to measure the rate of respiration, such as with this apparatus.
That looks so confusing.
Let's break it down. In the basket, you can put a living organism or tissue, which will be performing respiration. Carbon dioxide is absorbed by a base, in this case potassium hydroxide. Since the organism takes in oxygen and the carbon dioxide released is absorbed, what do you think will happen to the volume of the air?
It decreases?
Correct. This means that the liquid in the capillary tube will move towards this side. You can deduce the volume of oxygen consumed in a given time by looking at how much the liquid rises. Using this, you can work out the rate of respiration.
Fun!
What's the syringe for?
It helps you to reset the respirometer quickly, so you can use it again. That's it for respiration part 1.
Wait, there's a part 2?
Yup, where we will wrap the higher level content for the topic of respiration.
I'm scared.